Hey everyone, Muckluk here, and I like game reviews that don't waste time and don't spoil the game for me. This is The Last Spell, a turn-based single-player tactical roguelite game developed by Ishtar Games in 2023 and published by the Arcade Crew and Gamera Games. It is available on PC, PS4, PS5, and Switch, and is rated M for mature. The goal of this review is to determine whether or not the game is worth its $25 price tag for the average gamer. The setting for the game with no spoilers beyond the tutorial. This is a world of swords and magic, and one mage discovered how to make magic with the payload of a small nuke and destroyed a nearby town. Other mages reverse engineer this magic to learn it, and this guy accidentally starts magic nuclear war. When the dust settles, only fragments of civilization remain surrounded by purple mist. The victims of this magical warfare emerge as undead from the mist, attacking those who remain. In an attempt to save what is left of humanity, the remaining mages begin casting the Last Spell, which if successful will remove all magic from the world, which would cause the massive armies of undead to fall to the ground lifeless if you can keep the mages alive long enough to cast it. The general gameplay of this is to keep the mage in the center of your base alive. During the night, you fight against the waves of monsters, using heroes, traps, and defenses. During the day, you can use gold to buy buildings, additional heroes, and equipment to aid you. You can use scavenged resources to make walls and defensive options. You have workers. You can allocate them each to one task per day, such as getting me more gold, more supplies, help the blacksmith make more armor today, etc., which rewards careful planning. The heroes themselves have countless build options, with each having strengths and weaknesses, and a massive pool of talent options that they can pull from. In between runs, whether successful or not, you can spend essence you gather from the monsters to unlock additional helpful effects on your future runs. Likewise, earning various achievements unlocks helpful benefits for future runs as well. So although this is a roguelike game, and failure means starting that town over, you do earn benefits on all of your attempts. The Last Spell took me over 70 hours to beat the final level for the first time. In that time, I failed a few levels and had to replay them, easily adding multiple hours to my clock per attempt while I was still learning and having to read all the tooltips. After finishing the last level, you have the option of continuing to play, unlocking more perks, and attempt apocalypse modes of any map, which increase the difficulties more and more and more, giving near infinite replay value if you enjoy this gameplay loop. For the more casual players, there is also Boundless mode that removes the limitations of how many perks you can have active at once, allowing you to stack the odds more in your favor if you need help while you're learning. Comparisons to other games. While not the exact same, this reminds me of the first time I sat down to play Heroes of Might and Magic. I was enthralled with all of the options, and then I looked up and 5 hours had passed in a blink. There's a lot of thought put into these levels, and a whole lot of RNG in regards to loot, things in the shop, the heroes you get, and what skills they get, which way the monsters attack from, etc., which keeps my mind constantly engaged. The decisions in turn-based combat very much reward good planning, so if you enjoy strategy games, there's a solid chance you'll enjoy this. The details. The art style in this game is charming, with clearly pixelated art constantly bobbing up and down, reminiscent of Crypt of the Necrodancer. The spells and abilities of both you and the enemies have impact and weight with satisfying visual effects. The sound and music. Quite simply, it's a jam. Some of the combat songs in this game make me want to add them to a playlist. They do a great job of keeping the energy up, and the combat sound effects are marvelous as well. Controls. The game is designed for mouse and keyboard and allows easily rebinding any keys you dislike. Perfect. Saving system. As a roguelite, if you die, the town is lost and you start another. The game does save if you properly close it at any time, so you can leave long games and come back later. And although technically you could hit Alt F4 right when you lose and reopen the game to your last save point, I know none of us would ever do that. Content creator concerns. None. I streamed my entire playthrough on Twitch and uploaded the entire thing to our Muckluk Plays YouTube channel, and I did not experience any muted VODs or have any issues with copyright claims. Anything negative to say? Only that you need to keep in mind it is a roguelite. The bosses throw some serious curveballs at you, and if you are playing the game spoiler-free, there is a low, but not impossible chance of beating the bosses the first time you see them. So if you get angry easily and punch drywall, you might avoid this title. But do use my Amazon referral link the next time you buy Monster, Kyle. Final thoughts. This game made me completely lose track of time. As I would focus so much on it, hours would fly by. I would discover new talent and weapon combinations dozens of hours into the game, and it would reinvigorate me all over again. I think that if you are a fan of strategy games and are a fan of, or at least okay with roguelike aspects, then you should try this one out. I think it is a masterpiece out of 10 within its niche, and I hope it gets the success it deserves. In the end, due to a simple yet good story, highly engaging gameplay, and incredibly diverse replayable game system, I have to say that this game absolutely felt worth it. Once again, this video was not sponsored, so if you enjoyed it, please consider hitting that like button to help us out with the YouTube algorithm and subscribe for more content. If you'd like to see more of my own playthrough of The Last Spell, I'll include a link to that playlist from our other channel down below. As always, a massive thank you to our dear patrons who make content like this possible. If you'd like to become a supporter and earn early access, there's a link to that in the description. Beware the mist.